Awesome. Well, welcome to another episode, everybody, of the Weekly Daily podcast. I'm here with Edward Bell. We're just coming off a 10-day run of shows in Virginia and the surrounding areas there, so it's been a long last couple weeks. I don't know, what do you think? The footsteps are going to show up on the sound or not? What's the over-under?
I'm going with 100%.
100%. Yeah, this is not getting edited out. We're at my sister's house, and she's got some young kids, and they have very heavy feet.
The heaviest feet for
They are
such
the lightest
little people.
individuals
Yeah.
on the planet, but you would not guess that. I can only imagine living in an apartment with a family above you just being unbelievably unbearable.
Yes. Yeah. Well, good thing there's not that many families that live in an apartment.
Yeah,
That's
true.
at least not in Denver. But there's also just not that many.
There's not that many families. In
families.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so we just finished a run of 10 shows. This is what is today? Saturday, April 22nd. This is a lot. This is tough to think with the pounding upstairs.
It is a lot. It is a lot. Also, 10 shows in a row. You're free, Ben. You did
Free. Made it through. It didn't feel, it felt, we said it before, it felt like a long time, but also not a long time. Fortunately, we were able to stay at mostly my family and a few friends, places, so comfortable stays. We're able to eat pretty healthy, and it wasn't as drive heavy and scrunched up in a hotel as much as past runs, so it was pretty comfy.
Yeah, I think cutting down the drive time made it seem like not as bad because you feel every second of every day in those 5-hour drives.
Yeah, for sure. I think the kids upstairs are training for a race. Apparently, they're doing starting and stopping, running back and forth. No, but it's been good. What I think the last podcast we ended on
Lynchburg. Yes, Friday.
Yeah,
and now
so
it is
Saturday the following week.
the following week. Yeah, so it's
8
been
days later.
over a week.
Yeah, so we did 7 shows since Lynchburg.
Yeah, it's been a whole war. It's been
It's been a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, we so the first shows we did were Raleigh. We hopped on somebody's show. We did Roanoke and then Lynchburg, and we talked about that in the last podcast.
But you've already listened to that because you're a big Ben Dailey head.
Everybody listened to this. Surely you guys have listened to all the previous episodes. But those were good. I mean, the Lynchburg show was very fun. That was a super fun show. The Roanoke show was a little chaotic with noise. The Raleigh show was fun. We just hopped on. That wasn't one that we produced. But since then, 7 different shows, starting in
Arrington, Virginia.
Outdoor shows. A cool barrel house, smoking barrels. Blue Mountain Barrel House.
Definitely the most beautiful outdoor show I've ever performed at.
For sure. It was right, I think it's the Appalachian Mountains there. Just right there with those to the side. It was a nice outdoor patio area. A lot of people out there. It was a fun show. You know, I felt a little different than Ed felt. I didn't have my best set there, but Ed
Daddy
strong.
brought it home.
Daddy brought it home per usual. No, that was one of the few shows this run where I felt just like a weird anxiety beforehand.
Well, you were performing for your 2-year-old nephew, so
yeah, had some. It was high stakes. You know, really got to impress the young kids.
that could have been his first memory of you, dude. You don't know. That's
fortunately he left fairly early
because
so
Ben walked him.
I walked him. Yeah, he said, "Please, I can't listen to any more of this." No, it was funny. There were a handful of people in the front, and I don't feel like I do this very often. I don't know about you, but I don't take a look at the crowd too often and then get anxiety based off what I see in the crowd. Do you feel like you do that beforehand?
No, honestly, the only time I ever look at the crowd beforehand is if it's not going well before me, and I like and
Trying to get a
I'm trying to
check
get
out why.
Yeah, I'm trying to check out why. Or if like you're getting heckled, like, I'm ready to go to war the second I go
You're
up
like,
there.
I gotta look at everybody. What do they look like? What
Yeah.
are the roasts that I gotta?
What are their insecurities so I can make them amplified?
No, but this was one of the few times where, as we were setting up, the people in the front were talking to us a little bit, and they had been enjoying some beverages for what seemed like probably a little bit. They were loosened up a little bit, and I was like, oh man, it just, for some reason, I got more than usual the feeling of like they're gonna heckle. And the funny thing is,
They didn't heckle.
They didn't heckle, but at about halfway through my set, one of the guys, he like rubbed his face and just out loud goes, "Nobody cares." And I'd be lying if I said that didn't shake me up a little bit. It felt very much like there's 75 other people maybe intently watching, and the rest of that set, I was just like, I need this guy's approval, and he's not giving it to me.
Didn't help that man was your father.
Yeah, it was very much one of those like approval things where you're a kid and you're like, I need to be accepted.
No, it was just some rando, and no one else heard it, and everybody watched your set, so it was just you heckling you, really.
Yeah, just me in my head spiraling. It was an outdoor show, which we did a couple of those, and actually the next one was very fun. But sometimes those can be, not that I was getting big laughs anyways, but those open air shows can be a little bit, you can not hear the laughter as well, so sometimes that can maybe get in your head a little bit, and I don't know. But it was fine. Ed went up and brought it home.
I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that show. That was fun. That was probably the most crowd work I've ever done. Maybe not. Maybe on Monday I did more, but that one, I was batting a good score. I don't know baseball,
good percentage.
But
baseball, you're batting better than a good baseball.
Yes.
Baseball's like 300, which is funny to be like, dude, he's one of the best hitters. He gets 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
He misses 2 out of 3, but that's to be expected. No, but that was that was Arrington in between Lynchburg and Charlottesville. So it was cool that's a very small space. It was cool to have a lot of people come out to fill that out, and then we went up to Richmond on Sunday, and that was at a brewery, 3 Notch Brewery, which we did in Roanoke as well. And that show was, that was a pretty timid crowd.
Yeah, Ben buried me. That's what happened that night. I ate it.
Oh, well, we both. I mean, it was a ticketed show. People came out specifically to watch comedy. It was a side room, but it was a weird side room. It was very cafeteria vibes.
Yeah, we could have fixed it. It was on us. It was not on the room. We could have adjusted the lights and put up the spotlight. And there's a lot of things that we messed up in hindsight.
For sure. Because the background was like a cool mural.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We would have
lowered the lights and had a spotlight on. That would have helped a lot. But it was, it's one of those where you're kind of like setting up before the sun goes down.
Right, so you have a different perspective.
Yeah, and then as the sun goes down, you go, man, should put that spotlight up. But, it's kind of too late at that point. But, for a Sunday show, a lot of times Sunday shows, people have work the next day. People are not as ready to.
Yeah, it was a great turnout, though. So
yeah, very good turnout. Had some family relatives there, and they seemed to enjoy it. They did. But they also, I think, understood, like, hey, this seemed like the crowd was a little.
Yeah, the whole crowd seemed to enjoy it because nobody walked.
Yeah,
even though I was eating it up there.
Well, it's funny, that one, so we had a host for 2 of the shows, Richmond and Lynchburg. For all the other shows, I'd go up and do 30 to 35 minutes, and then Ed would do 35 to 40, 45 minutes. But for that one, we had a host beforehand, so I was able to kind of see the crowd and really, it helps to be able to see and go, this crowd's not into it. So approaching it with just kind of like, all right, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not going to not try, but I'm also aware that they're not that into it. So I'm not going to be like shaken up when like jokes are not hitting. I'm just going to do my thing and be comfortable. So that felt a lot better than especially the night before. where you're starting out and you're like, I'm not getting them very much.
Yeah, I had the exact opposite experience where I came off a hot show and then ate it hard.
Yeah, we didn't go long on that show. That show we did. It was funny. The first shows especially Roanoke. How much time did you do at Roanoke? 30?
35. I did 35. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did 75 plus minute shows for the first handful, and then we kind of diminished the last week to be like, you know what, we'll give you an hour 5.
Well, we also started late on most of them.
Yeah.
So
works out because most people are grabbing a beer, grabbing some food, takes them 5-10 minutes to kind of get settled.
Also, let's be honest, 65 to 70 minutes of us is all that anybody wanted.
Oh yeah. When you're doing the 2-man, you get to 65, 70 minutes and you go, it shouldn't be longer than this.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I mean, maybe if you're better at it than us.
No, the format, it very much is.
You have to
a different format.
Crush as a closer in a 2-man show because there's just so many different variables that we had never considered. The changeover from you to me every night was significant, where the first 5 minutes of my set, everyone is in the bathroom or grabbing another beer.
Yeah, it was very interesting to see the dynamic and different changes and things that happen with the 2-man show. Like you said, your first 5 minutes was literally just like, hey, I'm sticking with the jokes and I understand that it's going to take a second to reset.
Yeah.
And it felt like by the time you got to your dog material, that's when you would crack them open and get them fully.
Which was like at minute 5 every night. And then, but that was also when everybody else sat back down.
Yeah. So just a different dynamic, but a good learning experience for sure. We did, it's always nice to have a third and somebody especially to host, especially for me, if I'm having to do up front, but it's also good to learn. And I mean, you guys probably hear
it's so
moving
bad
furniture upstairs.
It sounds like someone's moving in upstairs.
We'll see how I can edit this out if possible. If things just start getting really like tinny in the edit, just know I'm trying to fix the upper and lower sounds that are vibrating upstairs. But no, it was a good learning experience for sure to figure out like 30 minutes up top as the first person. It's a lot. It's so figuring out like the tricks to get people to stay engaged. But no, I mean, honestly, compared to our last run and some of the runs, or just mostly our last run that we did last year through the Midwest was a pretty rough one. This one was, there were some bad shows. There were some good shows. There were some in between. I think as a total, it was,
I'd say positive.
Positive,
yes. Came out ahead for sure. Because Monday after Richmond, we were in Manassas.
Yeah, Yorkshire, but Manassas.
Yeah, everybody said Manassas. Nobody knew what Yorkshire was.
Yeah, even people from Yorkshire.
Show ripped, dude. That was like 50, 60 people on a Monday.
Yeah,
which, I mean,
outdoor space.
Never happens.
Yeah, it was like a very interesting, it was a very cool, like, brewery that had mostly outdoor space. Like there was some space inside, but it basically had this massive gravel patio area with a bunch of seating and fire pits and different stuff. And it was right beside like some food stuff. But then there was like a Sheetz gas station, like sharing a parking lot and condos behind us, which someone mentioned were Section 8. And I was like, these are the nicest condos I've ever seen.
It was a very nice town. The whole place was very clean and nice.
But yeah, expectations, I think, walking in, especially for a Monday in an outdoor show, were like
real low morale after Richmond too.
Oh yeah, it was coming into a Monday show, you go, man, please don't be the worst thing ever. And it ended up being great. I mean, people came out and people were watching and listening and laughing, and that's all you can really ask for, I guess, when you're doing.
Yeah, it was crazy. They were an amazing crowd. They were very attentive, and everybody was there for the show, which is perfect.
Yeah.
There was no people just hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, because especially outdoor space, like, people could have been talking. It is funny because we did some shows later that a lot of people came out to watch, but some people didn't, and it was just a totally different vibe. I mean, it was just...
Yeah. But Monday was like, I mean, we felt like comedy gods after that one. That was
Monday was very fun. So that was Northern Virginia. That kind of started our run up in Northern Virginia / Maryland, which we went to Maryland on Tuesday. Columbia, Maryland, I think.
Columbia, that was cool. That was a really cool brewery.
Yeah, really cool brewery. I think it was called Hysteria.
Had a cute little backdrop for us.
Yeah, a little raccoon was their logo, I guess. But that was a cool little... It reminded us, I think, a little bit more of a lot of the breweries and stuff in Denver.
Yeah, it really did feel like home. Yeah, for sure.
Versus Richmond, the brewery, which in the main space wasn't clean cut or cafeteria vibes, but the room we were in was a very like clean room versus Hysteria and a lot of breweries that have like some sort of unique charm. And
yeah, it had the the dark dim lights. It had more of a lived in feel for sure.
Absolutely.
Which is way better for comedy.
Yeah.
When it looks like people have been there for a while.
Yeah.
Something about a new building doesn't work with comedy that well.
Something about wood that's old.
People makes them laugh.
Makes them, helps with the laughter.
I think it had like some books too in the background, and
yeah, they had some books. And a vacuum cleaner from like the 1920s.
Yes,
was just hidden there for some reason.
Yeah, it just seemed I don't know, more casual in a way, and that helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. That was a fun show. Again, especially for like a Tuesday, you never know what to...
Yeah, that was crazy. We had an insane turnout at that one, too. That was probably 40 people in a place that, I mean, maybe could have held 60.
Yeah,
But, I mean, almost every seat full on a Tuesday is...
I mean, yeah.
No complaints.
The brewery said that they stopped doing bands, I think, because the bands couldn't get enough people out there.
Yeah, because music is boring.
Yeah, dude. You got to sit and watch and listen attentively for comedy. Which is hilarious that people do. It's awesome, but you're like, man, sometimes you go, this is a miracle.
Yeah.
Especially after some other shows we did this week. But yeah, what did you say? I think my biggest fan during that show, which is embarrassing to say, was about a 10-year-old child, the only child there.
Yeah, when I was sitting by the door, and when she walked out with her mom, she turned to her mom and goes, "He was really good."
Which is hilarious because she was like laughing the loudest at like me talking about working job jokes or something. It's like, you're 10. You don't even know what I'm saying.
But it resonated with her soul.
But it resonated. She knew. Yeah, she was an old soul. And it just hit her in a place that, that was very funny. It's always funny when...
in 11 years, you're going to have the biggest fan base ever, dude.
We're going to have about 12 people in this Virginia run that are... that was a good time. They had a beef place right beside.
It smelled really good.
Smelled very good. I don't really know what they did there. It just said beer one way, beef the other way, whatever that means. Were they? You said it looked like gyros?
Yeah, it looked like some pitas, or they were chopping them up and putting them in. But they had a lot of other stuff, like jalapeno poppers and stuff. So
yeah, we should have tried some. We kept it pretty sandwich based.
Yeah, that road budget, baby.
Yeah, keeping it clean and cheap.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna eat so much gluten, dude.
Oh,
I'm gonna eat all the gluten.
Yeah, I don't eat much gluten, so I've been dragging Ed along the gluten-free.
I've eaten so many spinach wraps this week.
Oh yeah. Do you like those spinach wraps? The millet spinach wraps were much better.
They were, and also the price reflected.
We didn't buy those.
We didn't buy them, but
they came available.
You could
in
tell.
My mother's fridge.
You could absolutely tell that they cost triple of what we were.
The ones
paying.
that we got, it just tasted like it was so chewy. I don't know what it just tasted. I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys ever get.
I would say they're better than the cauliflower wraps. No, we got almond wraps. I can't remember. I've eaten so many things.
We've gone through the flours and tried just about all of them.
I didn't know you could make watermelon seed flour until last night. That was a new one for me.
Yeah, that's not even wraps. Those are cookies.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
It seems like it would be a very labor-intensive process, just even picking the watermelon seeds out of a watermelon.
I wonder how many people... I've never heard of anybody... I don't know if I've heard of many people... making their own flour, let alone watermelon seed flour.
Yeah.
Just one of those old school. What are those little things that people used to crush up like spices and...
Oh, yeah. I don't know, the mortar and...
Yeah,
can't
just
remember.
the old school like Egyptian tool, just like banging stuff until it.
Yeah, it's small. The bowl with the stone stick.
I was gonna say churn butter, but I think that's a different.
That's
thing,
a totally
right?
different thing. We went to a museum and learned about that, so you should know. You milked
was there butter?
Yeah, dude. That's why you were milking that cow, dude.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. That feels like ages ago. That's right. We went to a lot of. Was that Raleigh?
No, it was Raleigh. Yeah, we went to 3 museums or something. That
3
day.
museums. The freebies.
Yeah.
It's you got to figure out how to keep the budget low, but also do things.
I'll say one of them was honestly incredible. The last one we went to, it was gigantic.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one. I feel like a lot of cities, you pay $25 to get in there.
Yeah, but that one was totally free. And
yeah. And they
I mean, you could have spent hours in there.
They had a cow that you could milk. It was not real, so I feel like that makes it even weirder. Even though if there was a real cow, that would be extremely weird.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so they didn't have a butter churner there. Did you ever, growing up, did you or your parents or family ever do like very old school?
Did my family churn butter? Is this what you're asking right now?
The equivalent. Maybe not churning, but yeah. Have you ever?
No, because I was not born on the little house in the prairie. I was.
Well, some of us,
I had electricity.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. We made apple butter. That's still something we do.
Is that gluten free? Is that why you did that?
Gluten free. Yeah. Have you ever had apple butter?
No. Is it entirely apples or is it just apples mixed with butter?
Oh, dude, it's neither, which is hilarious.
Very
There's no
misleading.
butter in it. It's delicious.
There's also no apples in it.
There are apples, but it's applesauce that you cook, and then you add like cinnamon and sugar and something like that, and then it's great on biscuits.
Yeah, that sounds like the saddest birthday party ever.
Oh, dude, not sad at all. Apple butter on biscuits, that's a dinner right there.
The fact that you like a product called apple butter explains your personality very well.
Dude, I should have grabbed one. There's probably a jar at Mary Jane's. Could have had you try. It's very good. It is very good. But what else did we do? I don't know if we ever did any old school stuff. Can't you take whipping cream and make whipped cream by just shaking it? Isn't that the process?
I mean, you can make whipping cream by whipping cream, Ben.
Yeah,
yes, you can. That is the process. If you whip air into cream.
But if you don't have like the tools for that, you can.
I mean, you can
shake it instead of whip it.
Yes, you could, but it's going to be a much denser product.
Okay.
That's why you use the whisk to get the air into it. Yeah.
Wow.
I've made a lot of whipping cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
I used to work at a brunch place.
Okay.
A lot of French toast going out.
Yeah. A lot of whipped cream there, I bet.
Yeah. Big whipped cream during breakfast kind of place.
What is French toast? Bread?
Oh, my gosh.
Egg?
Yes. You want to throw some cinnamon in there, some sugar?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the type of bread?
I mean, we used challah bread, which is the real thick bread that you get at like Jewish bakeries.
Okay.
It's like the best bread for French toast.
Oh, French toast is very good.
Yeah.
I feel like I've tried. I do this with a lot of things where I'm like, oh, I should try to make this thing. It's not that complicated, but I don't look it up, or maybe I'm not fully familiar. So I'll just like put egg on bread, and then maybe skip some probably important steps.
Yeah, you got to whisk the egg.
And then like put some syrup on it and be like, man, it tastes pretty weird, but.
Yeah. You throw a splash of milk in there, dude.
I did that.
It's really only like one extra step. But.
One of the first times I ever cooked a meal, I was in college, or not.
Wow.
cooked what I would consider a complex meal, which it wasn't even complex, but it was a
hamburger helper.
Yeah, it was chicken parmesan, and I swear to God, I didn't know. This was 2000.
You just put parmesan on chicken, didn't you?
I took chicken breast, and I just dumped flour on top of them.
Gotcha.
And I baked it, and it just came out with baked chicken and just burnt flour on top.
Of course
there was
it did.
No egg.
Yeah.
There was no crumb. Like,
yeah.
I just put.
You just
so obviously
burned it.
Yeah, it came out, and I made that for a Valentine's Day dinner.
Wow, lucky lady.
Lucky lady. She got.
And you were like, this never usually happens.
Yeah. Well, she was probably yeah, I don't know if we had gone out to dinner at that point. So I think just the thought of me trying probably meant more than how bad the chicken was.
Did she continue to see you?
Yeah, I bought a table from Walmart. I bought one of those cheap tables.
Oh,
like
lucky lady.
I tried.
Did you put a tablecloth on it, dude?
No, I don't think.
Well, you didn't try that hard.
I didn't try hard enough, apparently.
Could have put a tablecloth on it.
That was yeah, wow. Looking back on that, I think that was the first time I used the oven in that apartment.
Yeah, and it sounds like the last.
Yeah, it was not just throwing flour on. You're like, surely this will make chicken parmesan.
That is your whole MO though, where you think everything is so easy and you don't do any research, and then
after the fact I go, you know what? You were right. It was a little harder than I initially thought. Yeah, that's most shows. A lot of these shows, like the hometown show in Lynchburg, I was like, we'll probably sell it out like at least twice, do 2 shows, and then I'm like, I'm not sure if we're gonna fill out the first show. First show was great, but it was a lot of last minute tickets that came through. But yeah, where do we stop? Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh boy, let's talk about Wednesday. We did. You want to go first?
Wednesday. What was the place called? Beer Republic.
Brew Republic.
Beer
Works in Woodbridge.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of they're all getting messed up in my head now. There's just too many brewery names.
Yeah.
The brewery itself was amazing. It was
a cool space.
They had great beer. They hooked us up with chicken wings, which was very generous of them.
$1 chicken wings. Haven't seen that in a minute.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. They were good too.
They were very good, which was, it was cool. They hooked us up. But it was just one of those big open breweries where had everybody been there to see the show, it would have been amazing.
It would have been great.
But there's about 6 people at the bar ruining it for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, because the majority of people were there to see it, but it was one big room, and I mean, the bar could not have been loud. Like, it was so loud that people that are, 10, 15 feet in front of us were struggling to hear.
Yeah.
And the PA system's like, it's a good PA system, so it was just like, it was so loud in the background. And we talked about it. I mean, I've never felt more like I went to battle.
Yeah, you were up there like, guys, please.
I'm just like begging. Oh my gosh, yeah, you're up there. You're just like, please give me a signal that you guys are still listening. That is the tough part about, comedy in general, but when you're doing longer sets, and you're up there, and some of there were a couple shows, including this one, where it was just like, this is chaos. It's super loud. It's just not a good situation for comedy. We tried our best to we got people to come out. We advertised. We did everything we could. But sometimes if there's 10 people in the back that are shouting, it's really hard, especially when you're just meeting the staff from that establishment like that night.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, you need to tell them to be quiet. It's kind of a complicated thing, and it's tough to be on stage and tell people to shut up or whatever when you're like, I've got 27 minutes left.
Right.
If I come off aggressive, then I lose everybody. So it was just like, buckle down and just sweat it out for 30.
Yeah. I honestly feel like when I got up there, the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get them. I think I'm going to, because they were laughing. They're much more engaged than just... They went right back to chaos.
Yeah. I feel like we talked about earlier, how usually when you went on, there was a reset of like 5 minutes. I feel like when you went up that night, it was like a reset of like increased attention for a new person coming up. So it maybe quieted down a little bit. And then they're just like, all right, back to talking. And then back to chaos.
But then some of the people that were causing all the chaos at the bar came up after the show, and they're like, that was great. And you're like, then why did you talk the whole time?
Were you the way you were?
Yeah.
It was, oh man. Yeah, that one hit me in a place different than that's probably the first time I've done 30 minutes where it's like, this is madness.
I've done that plenty of times, so even though I was just glazed over.
We did Roanoke, and I did 40.
Yeah.
And it was similar but different in the sense that it was super loud, it was chaotic, but at least the 20 people in front, which were just the closest and kind of the portion of that mezzanine, that was part of the first room because there was like a catwalk that led to another thing that was very separated. So the people in the back couldn't hear, but at least in the front they could hear. And it was so chaotic. It was just like, you're like, this is silly.
Right.
But this one, it just felt different where you're like, I'm trying up here. And I don't know. It was like,
guys, please, if we could all, class.
It's so funny because you keep saying that, and I didn't say that up there, but that's mentally what was inside my head. Like,
that was the energy coming out of you, dude.
Help everybody.
If everyone could
simmer down, class. I'm gonna call the principal.
Yeah, dude. You wish you could call somebody to get you out of that situation.
Dude, yeah. Some of those you're just like, where's the? Oh yeah, it's one of those where you're just like, Ed, where's the light?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But we have a clock up there, so you look at it, you go, I know where I'm at, and the light's
gonna be a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
So that was Wednesday night. I mean, the place there, it was a very cool place. They were happy with. Apparently, they just opened back up, and they were like, "This is a great turnout." They were happy. Like the staff couldn't have been nicer getting us.
Yeah, they're the best people ever.
It was great. It was just unfortunate with any
just a loud bar. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next night was kind of
similar, but it was still different. We had a huge turnout of people that were there to see us.
Yeah.
But there was just a couple loud tables.
Yeah. Yeah. We went to Winchester, Virginia. It was a place called Vibrissa Beer. Very cool place.
Yeah.
Winchester's a pretty small area, and this was probably like the place to go if you're trying to like grab a beer and be in like kind of a fun environment. I would imagine they probably don't have.
Yeah,
they probably got some dive bars or whatever.
For sure, it felt like we were in Boulder all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it was wild that everybody, because the rest of Virginia is not that it's conservative, but we just got to this brewery and it was all purple hair and tattoos and gauged ears.
It felt like more of the crowd of breweries were just like you get some younger people coming through.
It's a very cool brewery.
Kind of the
staff was all super young.
Yeah. But it was a very cool room. Like they had a super cool backdrop, a nice stage in the center. The bar was in the back, so was the bar on Wednesday, which is usually nice because like people, if they're grabbing a drink or whatever, the distraction's in the back, which is usually better than it being kind of right on the side or something.
Right.
But that was it was funny because that was similar to Wednesday with just very loud noise and chaos. But more people were attentive, and I think having gone through Wednesday already, I just felt you're like, this is what it is. I felt much like Wednesday. I was like, man, God. Thursday is just like, all right, whatever, just do your thing, and some people are enjoying it, some people are loud, but you got to fill that time.
Yeah, that was. The people that were into it were very cool, and a lot of people hung out with us afterwards, and that was very fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was very cool.
But there was just that one group of whatever it was, realtors.
Realtors, yeah.
Yeah, pretend job. That's not a job.
Yeah, they're just out there networking. They're like, this is for work, which just drinking and what can you do? It was a cool room. People enjoyed it. Some people didn't hear it as well as others. I wonder, we used our PA system, but they had a super nice. I mean, they had a ton of speakers up there.
Yeah, I bet a band there rips, dude.
Yeah, I wonder if that would have been spread the volume out a little bit better to maybe.
Ben's solution for beating the audience down is just more volume always.
Just crank it up. If they're loud, let's get louder, which at a certain point has the opposite effect.
Yeah, they just get louder.
Blows everybody's ears out who's listening, and then in the back it's a lose-lose on that. But that was a very cool place, and ultimately we've done much worse shows. That was fine. It was chaotic,
it was fun. I mean, afterwards, a lot of people bought koozies.
A lot of koozies. Not that many koozies.
But that was still more than most of the shows.
Yeah.
More than a lot of
shows. We go in with 20 koozies. We come back with 20 koozies.
Yeah. Ben has 480 koozies.
If you guys want koozies, seriously. leave a comment. I will cover the shipping. I will send you 100 today.
Yeah, dude, he can hook up your whole family. With
With
the
I
koozie.
mean, your family, friends, coworkers, everybody.
Your whole church.
your life.
Yeah. You have
your neighborhood. Yeah.
Your HOA.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could outfit a small army with the amount of koozies that you have left.
People will not take It's funny because we will sell them at the end of shows.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they'll come up and just tip because they enjoyed the show and go, I'm okay. I don't need the koozie.
They're actually tipping you to not give them a koozie.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's good to have something to be like, hey, come see us after the show, grab a koozie. It's donation based. So it's good to have like something rather than just being like, come give us a donation.
Yeah, usually the tip though is don't sell koozies.
Yeah, they look at it and they go, what's this mean? And they go, just put it, you don't have to take it. That's like the different way of saying, I don't like this. I don't want to take one. You go, well.
Ben has 480 koozies that aren't linked to a joke. Don't say his name on it. Don't have a picture of him on it. Honestly, you couldn't even tell that it has anything to do with comedy.
To be fair, they're linked to something we did in the past that we're not doing anymore, but it's just like...
You have 480 of them left.
Yeah. I mean, we're selling them together, but I love every show he ends. He goes, Ben's selling koozies in the back. And I go, golly, man.
Well, they're in your car, very heat resistant. They're extremely heat resistant.
Yeah, well.
They live in your apartment.
They're probably collecting sun and have some sort of bad.
I'm sure, because you bought the cheapest ones available.
Oh, yeah. They were. Could you imagine if I bought the nice one? I'm going around with 480 I can't get rid of? That would have been so embarrassing.
You're going to be selling them for many years to come.
Oh, yeah. I need a joke now.
It was the slow roll, dude. You were investing for the future.
Yeah. It was one of those. I got overly excited. They said, would you like 50, 100, 250, 500? I said 500. I'm pretty sure we're going to sell these like
you're going to be hearing from me again. I'm going to be re-upping this order real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead and save that in my transaction history because I'll be back pretty soon.
That was the Ben Dailey overconfidence that we're all so familiar with.
Yeah. But you know what? You gotta do that and then go, maybe next time
20.
I did the same thing with stickers. I bought 500.
Yeah, but you just give those out. That's a rapid fire thing.
Still, people don't take them.
Yeah.
At least this time.
I will say they take yours more than they take mine. They like the color.
Yeah.
They really do.
They don't seem to follow me though.
No, they're going immediately in the trash. I've given out about 200 stickers this time, and the return has been the lowest it's ever been.
I don't know. I don't know if I've.
Usually I hand out 100. I get about 4 followers. This time I've handed out like 200. I've gotten 0 followers.
Yeah. Usually people's comment is they look at the sticker, and I had somebody. I paid somebody on Fiverr to like make it into a animated picture of me. And the hair is like brown, and that bothers people, apparently. They look at it and they go, your hair's not brown. I go, all right, well, put the sticker back. You can't have it.
Also, I mean, they made your lips very, very pink, so you look very pouty on it.
I look pouty?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm just learning this now. Pink lips. Are my lips not pink?
I mean, they're just all the colors are exaggerated on there.
Well.
Yeah.
I paid $5.
Yeah.
So I guess that's what you get. There's no second draft when you're paying $5. You get what you get.
But the kids, they love them. Anytime we do a show with kids, man, they want those Ben Dailey stickers.
Yeah. You go, well, I don't know how I feel about this because.
Do you think any other comedians that we work with on a regular basis perform for as many children as we've performed for?
I can't think of any.
It is just
Probably
us.
Not.
We are the premier children comedians.
To be fair to us, not that many kids this run.
No, but still more than anybody else we know.
Whenever there's kids, plural, you're like, there shouldn't be one.
Yeah.
But, this time, I mean, we did a handful of free shows. So some kids, I think by default,
are always going to be
find
there.
A sitter or whatever. And then, that random one who... There's no way that kid in Maryland came with her mom to see a comedy show. They were probably just happened to be there because they left. They were laughing and loving it, and they left
Yeah,
Like,
I think they just happened to be there.
Yeah.
You know, her mom was just taking her out for a drink.
Yeah, just grabbing a
cold one with your mom.
A cold one with the mom. Yeah. Where else? I don't think there were kids really.
There was a lot of places where we showed up and there were kids there.
You're right.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, that Wednesday show, there was like a 13-year-old, and
yeah, dude,
they loved it.
They did love it. And actually, they did come for the show.
They did.
There was a date of two 17-year-olds there.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, that table, the kids there, if I didn't see them chuckle a couple of times, the set would have been even worse than it was.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm eating it up here, but at least this kid's, I mean, he could have been laughing because I'm just like.
Yeah, he seemed to be having
there.
fun. He had a cool mom.
Yeah. She was very into it. She was friends with the
owner, yeah.
The owner brought her kids out, so appreciate them coming out and supporting whatever we did that night.
Yeah.
But yeah, then last night we ended the final show of the run in Leesburg at a very cool brewery, Vanish Brewery.
And we got super close to selling out. It was packed, dude.
It was great. It was a very good way to end the run. It was massive. It's like, I mean, people probably aren't familiar with Leesburg, but Leesburg is Northwest Virginia. It's probably 50,000
You
people.
would also never know that this brewery is
this
out.
brewery is like 10 miles north of the city part. It's on like the outer limits of it. So if you're going there, you're driving a distance. But it has, I mean, apparently people were telling us it's like the place to go.
Yeah, it was a compound. I mean, there was at least 3 gigantic rooms. Each one could probably hold 100 people.
Oh, at least. The room we were in was 100, 150 capacity, and that was a side room separated so that we did like a ticketed show, and then there was another one right beside it that was like the same size, and there was another side of the brewery that was like the same size, and they had multiple outdoors,
which were amazing.
They were just like,
just
I mean,
immaculate.
You could fit hundreds of people, and I mean, it was pretty busy throughout, so to have there was hundreds of people.
We started so late because there was just a massive beer and food line. They were just buying so much stuff.
People were getting upset. It was kind of funny because, just by default, the fact that we're doing a show there, I think a lot of people are like, well, you work here?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, no, we're just the comedians, but we're checking them in. And they're like, well, the line is long. And you're like, well,
cool,
I'll let them know. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. And they were, I mean, doing great. They were just launching those beers out. But people were they were getting pitchers. I'd never seen pitchers of craft beer before, dude.
Did they sell pitchers?
Yes, which was wild to me. Have you ever seen anybody get a pitcher of IPA? I don't know if that's legal in Denver.
I don't think I've seen a pitcher of beer better than Bud Light.
Yeah, same here. It was always just like whatever the quarter pitcher night or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just college stuff.
But yeah, they were getting pitchers. It was
a very cool spot, though. That was a very fun show.
It was an amazing show. It was the best way to end.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was pretty much filled out. The crowd was total opposite of Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, obviously they bought tickets for this one, so they are generally going to be more attentive. But they were just super. No, I mean, I didn't know what to expect because we walked in there, and immediately some of the people that worked there came up and they're like, yeah, some comedians came from New York City and they did some jokes that really didn't connect because they didn't know that Leesburg is part of Loudoun County, which is the richest county in America.
Yeah, I will say that those people were probably not the ones that came to our shows, though.
Yeah.
We had a very middle-class audience, for sure.
That's true. But even if you're middle class and the richest...
Yeah, that's a better middle class than everywhere else, for sure. Yeah, it was wild. They were really, really good audience. It
was great.
That was cool. It was the perfect way to wrap up a 10-show run.
Yeah. Yeah, people were super excited that we were there. They're, very happy. So a good way to end, especially after a couple chaotic shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Good way to clean the palate and reset for where I guess you're heading back to Denver tomorrow.
Yeah, and you're on your way to Pittsburgh.
Gonna check out the city there on my way up to the comedy festival in Erie next week. So excited to just hit some open mic. I'm excited to hopefully not do the material I've been doing for a long time. I'm gonna just try to do the method of clean slate, bomb it out for a while, and get some new jokes that I can be excited about.
So Pittsburgh, be ready.
Yeah. I'm going to introduce myself to the city with just like
the worst material.
Yeah. You're like, this isn't material. Hey guys, I'm on my way up to a comedy festival and then I just try out some brand new jokes that eat it. And they're like, who is this guy?
Have you looked into it? Is there a bunch of mics?
I need to tomorrow. I'm going to look into it like right before.
I don't know how big cities are. So
yeah, I
don't know how big Pittsburgh would be.
I'm hoping that they have at least a mic every night. If not, it's going to be...
Anytime there's a city, I just kind of assume they do.
Yeah, it has to be. I don't know the population, but I imagine it's at least a couple 100,000, if not bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally...
Well, they have a football team.
Yeah, Philly, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's it, right? As far as like the big cities?
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think Erie is like 100,000. So Pittsburgh's got to be...
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes Erie... Philly, Pittsburgh.
From destinations people go. Yeah, but excited to check that out. Have you ever been to Pennsylvania for?
I've just driven through.
Okay.
I helped a buddy drive a car from Iowa to New York, and Pennsylvania is the biggest state you can drive through over there.
It's very big. I remember driving through it to go to Niagara Falls when I was younger, and it was like, it felt like a lot.
Yeah.
We stayed up in some... I always hate this. We stayed up in I think it was Bradford, Pennsylvania, in middle of nowhere, top portion of the state. And the cheapest hotel is like, this was 2014. The cheapest hotel, which it wasn't a nice hotel at all, it was just one of those run-of-the-mill regular ones, was like $120, $130. And, we get in at like 1 and leave at like 8. So 1 a.m., leave at 8 a.m. We're just sleeping for a second before going. And I always hate that. I always hated that when you're not even able to get the breakfast, you're leaving so quick.
You and the breakfast, man.
Well, you gotta get that power food in before a long drive.
The powdered eggs.
Powdered eggs. Nothing keeps you alert on the highway like some powdered eggs.
Yeah, grateful we didn't have to eat powdered eggs this last 2 weeks.
We ate a lot of real eggs.
Yeah, we did.
We
ate a lot of real good food.
Good food, yeah. It was a fun week. But, yeah, I think we'll end it there. We hit 45 or so. I'm so curious to listen back to this. Just edit it, and just every 5 seconds, just like the biggest kaboom.
Yeah, it just sounds like we're doing an earthquake.
But, yeah, we'll end it there. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you again next week.